Hey guys, I'm Deepthi and in today's video I'm going to be talking about affordable dupes for affordable makeup so that you can find better options to similar products or just avoid buying similar products in general. This was a video concept I did about a year ago where I found a lot of people are making videos for high-end dupes, and there was a time I was actually trying to change things up on my channel, like avoid buying too many products that are similar, and I was like, okay, this is a great idea. So I sat down and I saw all of the makeup that was very similar in my collection, and I was like, okay, if I have so many similar products in my collection, I need to let my subscribers know, because they can save a little bit of money as well and avoid buying the same kind of products time and again. Especially if you were someone who's looking at having a minimal makeup collection, just saving your money in general and not having too many similar products. I thought that video would be really helpful. The reason I'm mentioning this is because if a video does well, yeah, there are a lot of people who pick up on that topic, who kind of do the same kind of videos, which is fine for me, like credit or no credit, that's fine. But there are some people who would come and comment on my channel saying, hey, you copied so and so. I saw this video on their channel, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I did this way long time ago. You can see the date in that video as well. I will link it in the description box below as well. And when I make such videos, I make sure to like search up and see if anybody else has done similar kind of videos, and like the title and everything, I make sure to make it different. So at that time when I searched it up, like affordable dupes for affordable products, quit buying similar makeup, there were not many videos like that, and that's the reason I came up with that video in the first place. Okay, so don't come and comment that on my channel. Anyways, let's get started. The first one we're going to be talking about is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So this is a really nice product if you want a little bit of a pore filling effect to your skin, if you want to mattify your skin as well, if you have oily skin. I don't find it to be as pore filling like this product that I have right here. So this one is the Lakme Absolute Blur Perfect Primer. I feel like both of these are very similar, just that this one has a subtle like tint to it, like a slight pinkish tint to it, whereas this one doesn't have that. Like once you blend it out, it's almost like undetectable on the skin, but this one has a subtle pink tint. You can blend it and it wouldn't be as noticeable, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. And you can also get this one in a travel size, I think, so you can save a lot of money again. And I feel like this one is more pore filling and has more of a blurring effect than the e.l.f. Putty Primer itself does, as you guys can see from the demo as well. The side where I have the Lakme Absolute Primer, I feel like it's a little bit more like smoother looking, and it looks like my pores are a little bit more blurred. Oh my god, the foundation is looking orange on my skin right now. I will talk to you guys about those products in just a bit. I did demo it on my face and oh my god, I'm not proud of it. But yeah, so in case you wanted to buy this and you already have this in your collection, maybe you can just use this one up. I think that a lot of people with oily skin would really like this. I'm not sure you would like this if you have normal to dry skin. I'm not the biggest fan of this on my skin, all over my skin, especially because I feel like it is a little bit mattifying, but however, you cannot deny the fact that it is pore filling. So yeah, similar products. And then next up, we're going to be talking about primers. We have quite a few primers, so let me just finish all of that up. And then we have the NY Dewy Face Primer for dry skin. So I found this one on Purple, and I think they keep launching new products, this particular brand. And I was like, okay, this is a dewy face primer. What if it's similar to my Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Primer? I'm absolutely going to love that, but it's not at all similar to that. This one has like a clear consistency. It almost yeah, it's not like a creamy consistency, it's like a silicone kind of a primer, and it does have a little bit of a cooling effect on your skin, and it does have like a subtle glow, very subtle glow, but I feel like it's more of like a blurring kind of a primer more than a hydrating primer. Like if you have very dry skin and you're going to get this thinking that it's going to hydrate your skin, I would probably like reconsider it if I were you. So yeah, this is not a very hydrating dewy sort of a primer, and I feel like they just duped themselves because they have another primer. I don't know if this is still available. This one is the NY pore minimizing primer. This is their blurring primer. I have talked about this so many times on my channel, and I feel like both of these are like exactly the same, just that this one doesn't have that much of a hydrating like dewy finish like this one does. It's not like this is extremely dewy, but it does have a subtle dewy effect to your skin. It has like a little bit of a like cooling sensation on your skin, whereas this one doesn't have that, but they look pretty much the same once you let it rest on your skin for a bit. And this one is certainly a blue. This one is certainly a blurring primer on your skin as well. And so if you have this, I don't think you have to go ahead and buy this primer. Although yeah, I ended up buying similar primers because I didn't know. I thought it was like a very dewy primer. And of course, I do have my Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Primer. This one is my favorite primer. It's a very nice hydrating primer. It goes on, it like gives you a good like glow to your skin. Like it's not highlighting, it doesn't have any shimmer particles, but it does hydrate your skin, makes it look a little bit plumpy. It's not very pore filling, and I feel like I did find something that is quite similar to this. And this one also does contain fragrance, and this one is from Swiss Beauty. This is a Flawless Moisture Primer with amino, and this one has 80 ml of product, and this retails for around 550 rupees. I think similar price point, whereas in this you get 30 ml of product, and in this you get 80 ml of product. And this is very similar to the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Primer. I feel like it has the same creamy consistency. It's very moisturizing on the skin. It does contain a strong fragrance, like the Swiss Beauty one has very strong fragrance to it compared to the Maybelline Fit Me one. So if you are sensitive to fragrance in your makeup, you might want to stay away from this. It does linger on your skin for quite a bit, after which it vanishes. It's not like it's bothering me too much, but it does have a very strong fragrance. Like if you are familiar with their strobe cream sort of a product, what is that called, I forgot, but it has that exact same scent, maybe a little bit stronger as well. And the finish, the effect, I can say is comparable to the Maybelline Fit Me primer, just that this one is a little bit more like dewy looking on the skin, maybe a little bit more like plumpy, juicy looking, whereas this one is hydrating, and it maybe doesn't have that much of a glow, but I feel like you get more quantity, and they are quite similar again. So if you have the Maybelline Fit Me, I don't think you have to buy the Swiss Beauty one. If in case you're seeing someone recommend it, maybe even on my channel, you don't really have to go ahead and buy it. But I feel like, yeah, if you have this, I think you have a primer for yourself that is going to last you for quite a bit. Next up, we have the Mamaearth Glow Serum Foundation. You guys know how much I love this. I have used this on so many different skin types, and I'm loving the way it looks. It's a nice everyday foundation. It's not too pigmented, not too heavy looking. It adds a good light medium coverage to your skin, and they have just 7 shades. That is a bummer, but it's a very nice looking foundation. It's what I have on this side of my face. Of course, it is a shade darker to my skin tone, so that's the reason my face is looking like orange at this point. But I really like the finish of this. I have to mix up the shade 06 and 07 to get my perfect match. So yeah, I like it. It has a nice glowy, dewy finish to your skin, and I think this would work for all skin types, but more so cater towards people of my skin type, that is normal to dry skin. So if you wanted something that is similar to this, okay, and or you're just on the whole looking to avoid buying similar products, I think this product is very similar to that. This one is a RENEE face-based foundation. I feel like they just have a similar consistency. Maybe the Mamaearth one has a little bit more of a runny consistency compared to the RENEE foundation, but on the face, when you blend it out, they look very similar. I feel like even the shade eventually starts to look very similar. It's what I have in this side of my face, and you can see they look identical. Although in my hand swatch, you can see that this one has more of a golden undertone, the Mamaearth foundation, and the RENEE foundation has like a pink tone to it, but once you blend it out on your face, they look very similar. And the Mamaearth one, I feel like at one time you just need like half a pump for half of your face, and for the RENEE foundation, I feel like I had to go with one full pump for just half of my face. So you do end up using a little bit more product with the RENEE foundation. And in case you're looking for good skin-like foundations, you could try out either one of this. They have a nice like dewy finish, light medium coverage, and something that you can wear on a daily basis to work and everything. The Mamaearth foundation, I think you get 30 ml of product, and the RENEE foundation, you just get only 23 ml of product, and this one retails for 750 rupees, whereas the Mamaearth foundation, you get it for 599. So you can choose whichever one you want to buy. Like if you are okay with a certain brand, you can stick to that, but I'm just here to tell you guys that these are similar. And then moving on to concealer, I have this one. This is the K-Beauty liquid concealer. I got this a while back. I even filmed like a one brand K-Beauty video, and I don't know why I never got around to editing that. So when I got this one, I was not very impressed with this. I didn't really like the way it was wearing on my under eye area. Like initially it looks good, after which it just starts to fade away weirdly. Like just towards the center part, it just completely vanishes, and I have to constantly reapply it. And it does get a little bit cakey underneath my eyes as well, as opposed to a lot of reviews that I watched where people mentioned that this was very skin-like and it was quite long wearing. I kind of like differ from that opinion. So I have an alternative that I feel like works much better than the K-Beauty concealer, and like when you first initially apply it, the consistency, the finish looks similar, but this one holds up a lot longer. So this is the RENEE face base concealer. I have talked about this so many times non-stop. It has turned out to be one of my favorite concealers. It's very lightweight and it adds a good light medium to medium coverage. If you have very intense dark circles, both of these concealers would not work for you. Okay, but if you have like decent amount, like if you have like a subtle amount of dark circle, I don't know what that even means, but if you know, if it's not very stark and very intense, this would work really well for you. I don't really have to set this as well. It's quite long wearing. It's what I have on this side of my eye. It doesn't really like settle differently. It doesn't like pile up, doesn't cake up, and looks pretty good. In the demo, you can see that when I applied this RENEE concealer and then I look at this side, it was almost like fading away from the center, and I again had to reapply the K-Beauty concealer. That's how it is. So I find this one to be a lot better. And then talking about lip and cheek tint, I have the EBA Forever Nude cheek tint on this side. This is a really nice pigmented cheek tint. It is not very dewy looking, so if you wanted something for the summer months, and if you're someone who has oily skin or you sweat quite a bit on your face and you don't want it to look really dewy, like the RENEE lip and cheek tint, that's a little bit dewy, and that's one of my favorite products, but I can't really get around to using it when it's very hot. Okay, so if you wanted something a little bit more on the matte side, you can try this one out. And I also have something else. This one is the Cups and Lashes lip and cheek tint. I feel like this is quite similar to the EBA lip and cheek tint. They both have like subtle matte finish on the skin. I just feel like the Cups and Lashes one, you do need a little bit of building up to do, but they turn out to be quite similar. It's what I have on this side. This one is in the shade Kulhad 05. They are almost the same. The way they look on the skin is the same. The finish and everything, the blendability is pretty much similar as well. So you can choose what you want to buy, or if you have both, yikes, I think you have similar products in your collection. But in case you were looking at buying, should I buy this or should I buy that, I think these two are quite similar. So you can choose according to your budget, brand preference, and everything. And then a couple of other lip and cheek tints that I have. This one is from Bella Vita Organic. This one is in the shade Coffee. Is it what? I'm not sure what the shade is called, but this is what the shade looks like. It's not a very, very intensely pigmented cheek tint, but it's not something that doesn't show up as well. It has a nice dewy finish on the skin. And also something else that I have that is very similar to that is from the brand called Love Earth, and this one is in the shade Watch Me Slay. I feel like, again, the finish, the way they look on the skin is pretty similar. They are quite sheer tints. So if you didn't want something that is really matte looking, very pigmented, but you wanted something that has a subtle wash of color and adds a little bit more of a dewiness to your skin, you could try these out. And they both are pretty much like the similar formulation as well. And then talking about a palette, okay, both of these are from the same brand. This is from Mass Cosmetics. So I have their smaller eyeshadow palette, and this one is their 69 color eyeshadow palette, I guess. Yeah, 63 color eyeshadow palette. I feel like if you have one of this, especially if you have the bigger palette, I don't think you need to go ahead and buy the smaller one, because you get a big mirror with this and you pretty much get all of the shades, and the shimmer shades work almost identical in both the palettes. So this is what both the palettes look like. There are a little bit of a different glitter shades in this. Like they have a little bit more golden, warm toned glitter shades, and in this there's more of a colorful, like subtle rose gold and everything. But both of these glitter shades work almost the same. Okay, they are really messy. I don't really like these glitters. I've tried to apply it with glitter primer. I don't like it. I feel like it's very chunky. It's almost like pokey on the eye. It's very messy and almost like impossible to handle. But you can see the matte shades are again quite similar, and they're not the most pigmented matte shades, but it's not like they lack pigmentation completely, and also they blend out pretty well and everything. This range of the eyeshadow palette is not my favorite from Mars Cosmetics. I do have a couple of other favorites which I've talked about so many times on my channel. But if you wanted a palette like this with a colorful scheme and with good glitter shades and foily looking glitter and something that's easy to handle and blend, you can try out the Cups and Lashes Enchanting palette. I know that palette is a hit or miss for a lot of people, but for me it's worked out really well. I love the glitter shades in that particularly, not so much the shimmer shades, because I feel like the shimmer is just a little bit sheeny, not foily looking, not intense, but the glitter shades are amazing. You don't really have to use glitter glue. They're not pokey, they're smooth, and they just sit really well on the eye. But yeah, if you have this palette, I don't think you should go ahead and buy this one. Or if you have this, I'm not sure if you should buy this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Do let me know what other videos you'd like to watch in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one.
Yeah, I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife.